All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're talking about Cristiano Ronaldo. But let's forget just the football player for a second. We're going to break down how he's become something entirely different, a global institution. A one-man powerhouse in business, culture, and even diplomacy. I mean, we all know the name, right? Cristiano Ronaldo. The guy is a walking, talking, goal-scoring machine. We're talking over 950 career goals. That's legendary stuff. But here's the thing. That's just chapter one of his story. Then there's the brand. You've seen it everywhere. He was the first footballer to smash that billion-dollar barrier. And he's built this massive empire. I'm talking luxury hotels, high-tech health clinics, even media production studios. The whole 9 yards.
And now, get this, he's stepping onto the geopolitical stage. He's using that incredible global influence to become a key piece, a cornerstone really, of Saudi Arabia's huge Vision 2030 project.
So, that's the big question, isn't it? How does one guy become all three of those things? How does a kid from the small island of Madeira build an empire that's right at the crossroads of global finance and, yeah, geopolitics? Okay, let's dive in and break it down.
The answer, it really comes down to this concept we're calling the athlete institution. Think about it. It's a model that Ronaldo has basically perfected. It's where a single person goes way beyond their sport to become their own center of power.
So, to really get the institution, you've got to start with the man. That insane ambition he has, it was forged in a really tough childhood on Madeira. We're talking a home with a tin roof looking out over the ocean. That's where it all started.
And his climb was just relentless. You can see it here. He had to fight through poverty, crippling homesickness when he left for Lisbon as a kid, and even a career-threatening heart condition. He needed surgery at just 15 years old. Can you imagine?
Okay, so that same drive is what propelled him into Europe. And this is where things get really interesting. Because he wasn't just there to win trophies. No, he was already starting to strategically build the CR7 global brand. And he was doing it on the biggest stages imaginable.
And you can't talk about his time in Europe without talking about Real Madrid and that legendary rivalry with Lionel Messi. I mean, this was so much more than two guys on a field. It was a global phenomenon. It made La Liga must-see TV for the entire planet.
Just look at the sheer consistency. It's incredible. He conquered England with Manchester United, then Spain with Real Madrid, and then Italy with Juventus. He became the first player ever to win the league title in all three of those top leagues. That's just unheard of.
And this right here, this is the peak of that European dominance. 5 Champions League titles. For anyone who follows football, you know that's the absolute pinnacle. And getting 4 of those in just 5 years with Real Madrid, that's what cemented him as a true legend of the game.
All right, so this is the moment where the story takes a massive turn. His move to Saudi Arabia. A lot of people thought it was a retirement tour, right? Just one last payday. But it was so much more than that. It was a calculated, strategic pivot from being just a player to becoming a partner. This is the moment he truly becomes that global institution we're talking about.
And he said it himself, right from the get-go. This wasn't just about money. It was about being part of something bigger. He was there to be a key player in a whole nation's transformation, to be a kind of cultural ambassador for a new vision of Saudi Arabia.
So, let's actually look at the contract, because the devil is in the details. This is way more than just a salary. It's loaded with bonuses for goals and assists, sure, but the really crucial part? A clear path to actual ownership.
Yeah, that 15%, that's the number. That's the absolute game changer. By getting a piece of the pie, becoming a part owner of Al Nassr, he completely flipped the script. He went from being an employee to a partner. He got himself a seat at the big table where the real strategic decisions get made.
Now you might be thinking, how does someone even get to negotiate a deal like that? Well, it was only possible because of the business empire he'd already built. That whole diversified portfolio we talked about, the one that made him football's first billionaire, that's what gave him the power, the leverage, to walk into that room and demand a deal like this.
And when we say diverse, we mean diverse. His business ventures are all over the place. We're talking luxury hotels in places like New York and Madrid, a chain of hair clinics, gyms, and he even has a stake in a historic Portuguese porcelain company. I mean, who does that?
And of course, he's not stopping. Now he's getting into combat sports, film production, and it's all powered by this insane digital footprint. He was the first person on the planet to hit 1 billion followers across all social media. That's a platform so powerful, he can make millions from a single sponsored post. Just think about that.
But let's be crystal clear about something.
None of this, the businesses, the influence, the brand, none of it happens without his absolutely unparalleled performance on the football pitch. This whole empire is built on that foundation. You can see the mastery in this chart, the sheer variety in how he scores. And as he gets closer and closer to that mythical 1,000 goal mark, you have to remember, it's that brilliance right there that fuels the entire machine.
So where does this all leave us? What's the big takeaway? Well, it's a completely new model for how much influence an athlete can have. It's the blueprint, really, for this athlete institution idea. And he's basically laid out a 4-step playbook for anyone else who wants to follow. Step 1, be unbelievably historically dominant in your sport. Step 2, build a global brand that goes way beyond that sport. Step 3, use that brand to create powerful strategic partnerships. And then, the final and most important step, make the leap from employee to owner. Get equity. So, if you take one thing away from this, it should be this. Cristiano Ronaldo's real legacy probably won't be the goals, or the records, or the trophies. It's going to be how he completely redefined what an athlete could be, how he showed the world the true power a personal brand can have on a global scale. And that leaves us with one last big question to think about. We live in an age where top athletes get more global attention than most world leaders. So, has Cristiano Ronaldo just written the definitive playbook for a completely new kind of global power broker?